So today I'll be taking a look at the predecessor to the E35 version 3, which was one of my favorite everyday carry flashlights from Fenix. It's the E35R. Let's check it out. Now let me give you guys a close-up of the E35R from Fenix. The E-Series is the heart and soul of everyday carry flashlights for Fenix. And yes, this does replace one of my favorite everyday carry flashlights of all time, the E35 version 3. The E35 version 3 was a 3000 lumen flashlight with a 240 meter throw, had 14,400 candela. And the E35R here is a 3100 lumen flashlight, has 260 meters of throw with 15,103 candela. It also has a 69-hour runtime on Eco. So those numbers aren't huge jumps by any means, but they're still an improvement over its predecessor. It also has 5 cyclable lighting modes plus strobe, and controlling those 6 total lighting modes is a single metal side switch right there. And there is no tail switch, and I really wouldn't expect it to have a tail switch because this is an EDC flashlight. But another switch over the E35 version 3 is now it has a magnetic tail cap. And it's pretty powerful too, so you can see it's definitely strong enough to hold its own body weight completely sideways. Now this is definitely a welcome change for me. I love magnetic tail caps, especially mounting this under a car hood. It's just so convenient. And very much like the E35 version 3, it has these 2 tabs right there to make it very easy to tail stand. Right dead center of that side switch, there's an LED that is a boot up battery life indicator, and it glows red when charging and green when it's fully charged. And I'll give you a look right down the barrel there at that single Luminus SST70 LED with a lifespan of 50,000 hours. Now the color temperature here is a cool white, and it does have an optical lens that's responsible for a nice wide floody beam. Like all of Fenix's flashlights, the body here is made of 6061 T6 aluminum and has a Type 3 hard anodized finish. And another upgrade over the E35 version 3 is now you can charge the battery right from the outside here. You can see that fast charging USB Type-C charging port charges the battery from 0 to 100 in about 3 hours. And now let's open this bad boy up and let's see what's powering it. It is a Fenix 5,000 milliamp hour, 21700, 3.6 volt rechargeable lithium ion battery. Now this can be charged with the USB Type-C charging port on the outside, like I already mentioned, or it can be slot charged here if you have an external slot charger. Now at the head here, there is no spring, but there is a spring down at the tail cap there. You can't really see inside there, but yes, there is a spring. I would always like to see a double spring system, but this isn't a tactical flashlight, so being a single spring, I'm okay with that. Now for a size comparison, I have the E35 version 3 right here, and they're almost identical flashlights. Side by side, the E35R is maybe a 1/16 of an inch longer. So they're almost identical in size, and if I show you the head diameter here, they're exactly the same size. And now while I have the version 3 right here, you can see the magnetic tail cap versus no magnetic tail cap right here on the version 3. And there's just very minor aesthetic differences between the two here. Otherwise, they're almost identical. And now my last size comparison, the E28R right here. And you can see the E35R is longer, maybe by about a ½ inch. But once again, the head diameters here are exactly the same. And another thing I noticed when I was doing my testing before this video was the E35 version 3, the beam has a much greener tint to it than the brand new E35R. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but this is the version 3, this is the R. And I can definitely see it here on my desk. There is a really bad green tint right here to the version 3. And this cool white beam looks almost free of that green tint. So I think this is fantastic. That's always been one of my biggest negatives of Fenix flashlights. On its lower light setting right here, this is Eco, there's always been a green tint. It sort of disappears as you go up. Well, you can still see it right there in medium, but it sort of disappears as you go up. You can see just how much more white and clear that is of green than this guy. And it also comes with a split ring removable pocket clip that is lens down only. Now I already showed you the body size comparison, but let's go over the actual size of the E35R. It has a length of 4.72 inches, a head diameter of 1.04 inches, and a body diameter of 0.98 inches. Now, according to my weight test, and yes, I did include the battery, it comes in at 5.22 ounces. It's 148 grams. Now let's go over the lumens and runtime information. So you can see right there on the screen, 5 lighting modes plus strobe. Eco is 30 lumens, and that's where you're going to get your maximum 69-hour runtime. Low is 150 lumens, has a runtime of 21 hours and 20 minutes. Medium is 350, runtime of 9 hours and 20 minutes. High is 1000 lumens, 3 hours and 40 minutes of runtime. And then you have turbo, maximum 3100 lumens. You have your runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes with the asterisk there. And you can see everything else, 260 meters, 15,103 candela. Now, companies like to quote a 2 hour, 3 hour runtime or whatever on turbo, but always put that asterisk there because that's a combined runtime of every step down level after it leaves that 3100 lumens. So that's going to be a total runtime until the battery is dead when you start on turbo. So it's going to step down all the way until it's dead. And of course, I'm going to test out that turbo runtime a little bit later on in this video. As always, you can see strobe, full 3100 lumens. Thank you very much, Fenix. I love to see a strobe, SOS, or beacon at the full 3100 lumens, even though this has no SOS or beacon. Now, going right down the list here, you can see it has an impact resistance of 1 meter, which is normal, and a waterproof rating of IP68. That means it's completely dustproof and submersible in up to 6 feet of water. Let's go over the UI here. Very simple UI, which I like in my everyday carry flashlights. With Fenix, you have to press and hold to turn it on, and then press and hold to turn it off. So once you press and hold to turn it on, you just single click through those 5 cyclable lighting modes there. There's eco, low, medium, high, and then turbo. To reach strobe, the flashlight has to be on. You have to press and hold the side switch again. There is strobe. Now, it does have a mode memory that doesn't include turbo. So if I put it on low, turn it off, turn it right back on, goes right back to low. And it has a lockout. When the flashlight is off, short press twice very quickly, it'll flash. Now it's locked out. And to unlock it, short press very quickly again, and it turns right back on. And that's pretty much it for the UI. Like I said, very simple. It has to be simple for my everyday carry flashlights. I don't want to have to remember a bunch of weird button presses or anything like that. So I like it. Let's move on. All right, so now it's time for the turbo test. I let the flashlight run for 2 minutes, and what I usually do is in the edit, I look to see when it starts to step down and when it ends the step down within those 2 minutes. So when I was running the test, I definitely saw that hard step down right around that 1 minute mark, but I'll put on the screen right now exactly when it started and when it ended. Now it's time for the heat test. So what I do here is I let the flashlight run for 2 minutes, and then I'll take its temperature at the head and the body after 1 minute, and then after the 2 minutes. So after 1 minute, at the head was 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and at the body was 109 degrees Fahrenheit. At the body is perfectly fine, even at 109 degrees. You don't need gloves or anything like that, even though the button does get fairly hot because it is a metal button. But 140 degrees after 1 minute on turbo, that is pretty hot. So if you're going to touch the head for whatever reason, make sure you have some gloves on. But after 2 minutes, it dropped about 9 degrees at the head to 131 degrees. And very interestingly, it stayed at 109 degrees at the body even after 2 minutes. So the 109 degree temperature stayed throughout, but the head dropped from 140 to 131 degrees. But overall, the temperature, not that bad. All right, let's do some beam shots here. So let's start on eco. Right there. So that tree, I'll put up the distance between me and that first tree right there. Of course, we're not going to really see it with this 30 lumen eco. Uh-oh. Let's go to low. 150 lumens. Now the beam you're going to see here is a pretty balanced, spread out beam. It is a wide floody beam, but you're going to see a hot spot. And that's due to that optical lens. So you can already see it right there. You can see that perimeter and then that hot spot. And then the much better, less green tint. And I keep turning it off. I don't know why. There's medium. So now we can see that tree right there. Let's pan across the field. Right there. And then there's high. Very nice. Wow. Very, very nice. And then there's turbo. Can clearly see the trees across the way there. Go across that back tree line. There's the shrubs, I mean, and that structure right there. So I'm going to try to go across to the other side of the road over here and give you guys a different view. All right, a little bit colder than it looks out there. So what'd you guys think of those beam shots from the Fenix E35R? For one, I'm pretty impressed. First off, I loved the E35 version 3, and this is just a better version of that flashlight. More lumens, even though it's only 100 lumens more throw, and the color temperature being that cool white with hardly any green tint. Now I know what you guys are gonna say. Normally I complain about my EDC flashlights having a cool white temperature, and you're 100% correct. I do prefer a neutral white over a cool white. That being said, it's never really a deal breaker. If they offered this in a neutral white, I would prefer that one over this cool white. But that floody beam looks so good with that nice round hotspot, that cool white color temperature with hardly a hint of green. I'm not complaining here. Along with all of the other upgrades, especially this magnetic tail cap and being able to charge it from the outside, this is a winner. Now let's talk about the price, $79.95, basically 80 bucks for the E35R. I think that's a pretty good deal considering everything that you're getting here. So the E35 version 3 was my favorite everyday carry flashlight from Fenix, but I think it's getting pushed to the side for the E35R here. I think it's a fantastic flashlight. I love the beam profile, very well balanced, very evenly spread, nice and wide, plus a hotspot. And on top of that, everything else I mentioned. I like this flashlight. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Fenix E35R? Now, if you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!